Normally, for our Coffee Talk Tuesdays, I'm going out now, but this is kind of like a coffee shop to me because Donnie and I have had many, many deep, wonderful coffee talks.
And I'm sort of known for making really good coffee.
Yes, and this is fantastic coffee. So, today though, we were having a conversation about people that keep telling us or saying out loud that they are trying to be better, or they're doing the best they can.
Doing the best they can.
Doing the best they can. And so we're going to dive into this a little bit today.
So I was telling Shalise that I'm doing the best I can is my least favorite phrase on this planet. And I want to start by saying that I truly believe there are times in life when we're doing the best we can. We're going through a hardship. It's like, this is as much as I have to give right now. I truly, truly am doing my best. But for anyone to be able to say that they're doing the best they can over some long period of time, I believe is false. I'm a very driven, somewhat type A person, and I think I do the best I can maybe 40% of the time. And that might be a generous estimate. You know, how many days are we like, oh wow, I've got all this stuff I should do, but what I'm actually gonna do is lay in bed and drink some tea and watch Netflix. And I could be playing with my children, I could be doing my dishes, I could be working on my business, but instead I'm gonna do that. There's nothing wrong with that, but that's not necessarily the very best that we have.
Right, right.
Yes.
So what do you think that, since we could talk about this all day for sure, what do you think are some of the things to maybe start considering when you're having those conversations? And like, for instance, I'm driving in the cars with my kids and they drive me crazy and I snap at them and I try not to say, I really actually do try not to say I'm doing the best I can. I try with my kids to say, I know I could do better, but so could you. So what are some phrases or ways to think, or a new perception, I guess, to have?
Right. So one of the main ways I hear people use this phrase, I'm doing the best I can, is actually as a rationalization, as a justification, and a way to get out of accountability. So the way I really want to talk about it today is with parenting. I am at a point, I have 4 kids. My youngest is 10, my oldest is 24. And so I'm to the point where I do have adult children that now are living some of the effects of their childhood. And so when, one of my adult children come to me and say, hey, this thing, one of the things is, hey, we moved around a lot and that was really hard for me. Instead of me saying, I did the best I could as a single mom, it's like, I'm really sorry that affected you, and I'm so sorry that affected you, without saying, but here, and making it about me. I feel like it's important, especially as parents, that we acknowledge when our children have a hard time with us and not use that justification. Because the reality is this, and I know this will trigger some people, especially parents, who are like, but I am doing the best I can. First of all, there's a reality too that you may be doing the best you can a large portion of the time, and that your kids will still have some negative effects, and that's okay. None of us are perfect. None of us are doing a great job all the time. That's not how this game works. I think that there's a great power in taking accountability and admitting, you know what, I probably could have done better. I, even right now, could be doing better. And then that also gives our kids a lesson in accountability, in that they can sometimes say, yes, I could be doing better. Here's the reality. If we're already doing the best we can, then we're kind of screwed, because there's no room for growth there. Right. If we can really admit, we're so ashamed or afraid to admit that maybe we have regrets, or that maybe we're not completely living up to our potential. But I think that's where change starts to happen.
Absolutely, yeah.
Right?
For sure.
Not when we're being unloving to ourselves, but when we're saying, the truth is, I could do better. Mm-hmm. I could do better, and I'm going to do better. And I'm going to reach out for whatever help I need, whatever support I can get, and work on myself and improve and grow.
And life is a never-ending journey of healing and coming to who we are and who our truth is. And I think that one of the greatest things when I was with you is actually when we did do that archetype reading, And something that Donnie actually is very good at. I'll let her talk about it for a few seconds here. Not too long. I know we're running out of time. But it actually still to this day, 2 years later, I go back to those characteristics and how can I make those stronger? Because that is my core. That is who I am. And focusing on those things help me to stop saying I'm doing the best I can and know that today I can do a little better than I did yesterday in this area or this area, because that is what growth is all about.
Yeah, and maybe I'm doing the best I can over here, but over here I really do have some room for improvement.
Yeah.
I have so much respect for people that can acknowledge their shortcomings.
Yeah.
I almost feel like it's not, in style right now to say, I'm not doing as great as I could be. I think it's totally acceptable to admit that. And I think people appreciate that kind of accountability.
Well, and that's when the vulnerability comes out and saying, you know what, I'm failing at several areas and I want to improve and I'm going to do X, Y, Z in order to do that. And it allows other people to be okay with their failures and their shortcomings too.
Absolutely. Gives that permission.
Yeah. So how do we get a hold of you, Donnie, for an archetype reading or anything else that you do?
So the best way to get a hold of me is actually email, and it's Donnie Angel. It's DAWNI Angel 1969 at Gmail. So I do a 2-hour archetype reading, and what that is helping people come up with the 12 essential parts of themselves and how to use those to better their life and their business. I think it's the most important for entrepreneurs, people who are running their own business. You need to know which archetypes you have access to and how to use them to market and to actually give your clients, the best experience. Yeah. So, awesome. And it's a blast,
yes,
right?
You've
done it. It's so much fun, and I make really good coffee.
She does.
Come have a cup of coffee with me and do an archetype reading.
All right. Well, cheers, Donnie.
Cheers.
Thank you so much. And we blow a kiss to our audience.
Mwah.